Well, I got some breaking news for you regarding ALPP, so let's just hop right into it. Alpine 4 Holdings subsidiary Value Aerospace Corporation and Ensco enter into a drone sales agreement for its US-1 long flight duration drone. Alpine 4 Holdings, a leading operator and owner of small market businesses, announced today that its subsidiary Value Aerospace Corporation and Ensco have entered into a procurement agreement to acquire the US-1 drone of its operations in the United States. Value has developed several use case applications for the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, and several industrial sectors, including rail and energy. Value's president TK Epley commented, "When I was hired 9 months ago, I was tasked with building out a drone production facility. As we sell through our remaining US-1s, we continue to progress on the development of the US-2 and have created the capabilities to manufacture G1 aircraft faster than ever before. It's incredibly gratifying to be fulfilling orders and to be doing business with a company of Ensco's caliber." Kent Wilson, CEO of Alpine 4, had this to say, "TK and his team have done a great job professionalizing the airframes Value offers. When we hired TK last summer, we made the decision to remove all Chinese electrical components from our drones. This process has led us to a point where we are actively selling our airframes to customers like Ensco and are able to provide airframes to the United States government and companies that need a true US manufactured and component source product. We congratulate TK and his team for a job well done." And in case you guys don't know, remember, I believe it was December 2020.
Around that time, I'll have to double check.
But I believe it was around that time when the embargo on DJI came into play. And I felt like for a lot of drone companies, especially American-made drone companies, that was a catalyst to, just more of a door opener to opportunity, especially for ALPP. It's really nice to hear Kent confirm that we have removed all the reliance on Chinese electrical components for our drones. Especially with this administration, I know a lot of the push has been to have everything American-made. So just very exciting to hear. So in case you guys don't know who Ensco is, let me go into a little bit deeper of who they are. Ensco is a provider of engineering, science, and advanced technology equipment for the defense, security, transportation, and aerospace industries. Some of their aerospace government customers include, I'll include the whole list of all of their customers, but I'm just going to name some of the top ones that jumped out at me. First and foremost, we have the FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration. We have U.S. Air Force, U.S. Army, U.S. Navy, and NASA Kennedy Space Center. Some of their commercial customers are Airbus, Boeing, Honeywell, L3 Harris, Lockheed Martin, Rolls-Royce. I don't know if have any of you guys heard of Rolls-Royce? San Diego Gas and Electric, as well as United Airlines. And Ensco isn't only aerospace, they're also in railroad as well. Some of their rail government customers are the Maryland Area Regional Commuter, the U.S. DOT Federal Railroad Administration, and the US DOT stands for US Department of Transportation, in case any of you guys are wondering. Some of the rail commercial customers are Amtrak, Caltrain, Kawasaki, Metrolink, and New Jersey Transit, just to name a few. Ensco's mission is to cultivate the ideas of their employees and customers, delivering leading-edge research, development, products, and services in the rail, aerospace, and national security market. And just so you have an idea of some of what Ensco has been able to, like some of the projects and some of the awards and contracts that Ensco has themselves been able to land, check this out. Ensco Inc. is pleased to announce it has been awarded a $571 million USD contract to provide research and development, testing, engineering, and training services at the Transportation Technology Center in support of the Federal Railroad Administration's goal of establishing the TTC as a center for rail and ground transportation innovation. As the awardee, Ensco will operate and maintain the TTC in support of the U.S. Department of Transportation to develop a vibrant, engaging, and modern TTC that fosters innovation, encourages positive change, and creates opportunity. Ensco will also expand the use of the facility to support other government and commercial entities to achieve the broader mission of transportation safety, security, and innovation. This contract was announced in March of 2021, so just so you guys know. What also excites me about the Ensco announcement that we heard today regarding ALPP, well, specifically Value and Ensco, is how closely they work with the FAA. Ensco works closely with the Federal Aviation Administration in the development of the commercial space and UAS operations and develops operational policies for the integration of these activities in the NAS, also known as the National Airspace System. Ensco was the first organization to prepare a safety approval application to the FAA for commercial launch. An in-depth understanding of the regulations and policies associated with aviation, unmanned aircraft systems, and space operations helps our clients develop operational strategies that are safe and FAA compliant. To me, this is actually what excites me the most regarding this announcement, because as you may have seen in previous videos, we have discussed in detail what changes need to be made and what rules need to be expedited regarding FAA for the commercial drone space. So I'm wondering, now that we have an agreement with Ensco, how fast we can move like to the top of the list in the commercial drone space. I want you guys to look at the chart with just the past month. You can see that we have a little bit of a spike, and that probably directly correlates with the drone deck news. But ever since then, unfortunately, the price action for the stock has just continued to kind of go down and it's starting to find its support in the 108, 110 area. Typically with earnings, you know, if you've watched past videos, you know that I myself never play earnings, but I do love reporting on them. However, I do understand that many people have puts or calls and they go for it when it comes to earning reports. Now, the interesting thing is, typically, and this is in regard to my research and the sectors that I follow, but typically you see a lot more money going into companies as earnings is around the corner. So we're kind of like in that buy the rumors, sell the news stage. Have any of you guys noticed out there that the price action for Alpp is actually just starting to, instead of go up towards the earnings, and which we usually have that quick sell off of like bad news, right now it just seems that we're starting to consolidate in the dollar range, and I'm wondering if that is a lot of more institutional buys. We have been seeing big ticket buys of 150,000 at a time, but I just kind of find it interesting as we still haven't got a confirmation date with regard to when the earnings will come out for ALPP, but it does seem like it might coincide with the stockholder meeting or with the shareholder meeting on 3/25. But if so, do any of you guys else find it interesting that we aren't getting a huge run up going into earnings, but rather a consolidation? And if you guys have noticed that as well, do you guys think that we are in for a little bit of a treat? I know Kent in the past has kind of tamed down expectations. I wonder if he's going to pull a little rabbit out of the hat during the shareholder meeting, specifically with numbers, because as you guys have noticed, even with the drone deck partnership and the announcement with Ensco today, we still haven't gotten figures. So I'm very excited to see what these contracts look like, and more importantly, how long these contracts will be with regard to these partnerships and agreements with both drone deck and Ensco. Okay, starting with some of our big retail, everything pretty much down today, with Target being the lowest at about -2%. Hopping into our EV plays, ABML at the time of this recording is actually up about 3%. Everything else was down besides ALPP. Okay, hopping over to semiconductors, everything also down, with NVIDIA, with actually Qualcomm being down just under 3%. In the fintech space, everything was also down for the ones that we like to follow, except for Affirm. Affirm's actually been up today. I don't know if any of you guys have been paying attention, but Affirm is like, this might be day 3 or day 4 where the firm actually just kind of being up. So kind of exciting to see. Okay, hopping into some of our favorite longs, Chipotle down 1.6%, Dutch Bros down just under 7%, and Palantir's down 1%. Palantir is another one. Palantir just also got awarded 7 new patents. So if you guys want more information on that, I know you guys probably have seen many YouTubers on Palantir, so I'm not going to take too much time, as I know there are many great ones out there. But Amit, Palantir YouTuber Amit, I'm going to put his link to his blog that he goes into a much deeper dive on those 7 newly awarded patents regarding Palantir. So again, shout out to Amit out there. That dude, regarding Palantir, he's on it. Okay, hopping into our 3D space, Desktop Metal is up just under 2%, and Nano Dimensions down just under 1%. Getting over to genomics, everything here also down for the most part, with Bingo actually up just about 0.63%, nothing to really sneeze at, but up nonetheless. And then getting into Mount Fang, everything also across the board down besides Apple. Did you guys hear that Apple is actually be introducing your guys' driver's license into the Apple Wallet feature? Let me know in the comments below what you guys feel about that. I know I was talking to my wife earlier and she's like, ooh, that's a lot of information. I looked at her, I was like, you know what? Today I went to the ATM and I went to go pull money out and I put my ATM in the machine and the ATM sucked up my card. Pause. So what I thought was going to take about 3 minutes, it actually took about 20 minutes of my time because I had to go into the bank in my pajamas, go into the bank, get the ATM card, get it out of the machine. All while after he handed me my card back, he's like, hey, do you know that you can just put your phone and tap it and that would work? And I was like, well, I wish I knew that before. You guys should make bigger signs. He's like, oh, we have like that little symbol at the bottom. Think about how much information you guys have on your phone. Do you feel that your driver's license is too much information to be held on the Apple Wallet? If so, let me know. The final sector that I want to go over today is our crypto watch list. At the time of this recording, Bitcoin was down about 1%, Ethereum down 1.32%, Polygon was actually up just a little bit, and Cardano at the time of this recording was up just under 10%. And actually, even a little bit before this, Cardano was up almost 14%. It was hovering just over $1.10. And that's kind of what's going to bring me to my next point. Did any of you guys hear that Grayscale has actually increased how much of its ETF position that it will allocate towards ADA? If not, check this out. Since the advent of Bitcoin and countless other cryptocurrencies, investors have more options to select investment products according to their risk tolerance. Many financial experts and governments have warned that cryptos are the high volatility asset class which formed a barrier to retail investors. In the United States, investment institutions have been rolling in the game quickly as the crypto market is now worth trillions of dollars. And remember, I told you, billions is cool, but a trillion, I think we're in a world now where a trillion is just a little bit cooler. Grayscale is a big name that identified the demand quite early. Grayscale's investments, or Grayscale in short, is the largest US crypto asset manager that has over 40 billion AUM. Its goal is to facilitate crypto investments to everybody in the United States, legally regulated by the SEC, also known as the Securities and Exchange Commission. At the writing time, Grayscale is managing crypto assets in 15 products, 13 trusts, and 2 funds. At a fast pace of adopting new products that serve the investors, Grayscale is acting as a pioneer, filling the gap between the crypto world and the investors, especially who need a reliable service provider. The digital asset manager company detected the market sentiment and created a basket of top market cap cryptos. So again, as I had mentioned, Grayscale Investments has increased its allocation of ADA in one of its top ETFs. And that ETF, or that fund specifically, is for their smart contract platforms. ADA, also known as Cardano, will hold 25.35% of the fund. Solana will have 23.30%, Avalanche 18.43%, Polkadot 15.43%, Polygon, aka Matic 9.14%, Algo at 4.32%, and XLM at 4.03%. In regard to the allocation of this is a pretty big deal with how much of this fund is going to be geared towards ADA and just kind of open the door to more people being able to invest and, more importantly, hold ADA with confidence that nothing will happen to their money. Because I know with crypto, there's still that hesitancy even getting into the crypto space. With this announcement, it seems that Grayscale has now solidified ADA's place in the crypto space. Oh, I didn't mean to rhyme there, but hey, I'll take it. Ever since this news has come out, the price action for ADA has actually gone from just around the 80-cent range to as high as, like I said earlier, to as high as about $1.10. So again, like always, we will cover different sectors in here, but I know for anyone who's been watching, we do follow ADA, Bitcoin, and Ethereum pretty exclusively. So this news is pretty exciting for all my ADA shareholders out there. I know a couple days ago, I told you guys I would be in the P50 webinar for desktop metals. Now, unfortunately, I made a mistake. I recorded the webinar, but I completely forgot to have my volume up. So I need a little bit more time to review. I did take notes. Because of the information that is being discussed, I do have notes, I do have my slides, but I want to make sure that whenever I give you guys information, that I give you the correct information. And with regard to the discussions that took place during this webinar, I want to make sure I give it to you guys correctly. So with that being said, that will come in a later video. And before I go, I also just want to show you guys some updates on the ABML plant. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And if you guys want to go back, you guys can look back at some of my other videos from before where, you know, we've just been tracking the progress of the construction of the new plant. So it's just, to me, it's just exciting to see. Again, ABML is one of my favorite OTC companies. There's not many that we have in our OTC portfolio, but one of the main ones is ABML. So just kind of want to give you guys an update on that progress there. Other than that, I hope you guys are pretty excited with the news that we hear today from Alpp. It seems like we're just getting news more and more every day, right? So that's super exciting. And then for all my ADA shareholders out there, check it out. We are now at the top of the list for one of the Grayscale's major ETFs. So that's also super excited. Okay, well, it is my lunch break. And so, oh shoot, I actually need to clock back in. Well, like always, thank you so much for checking out Stock Talk with Erik Anthony, and I'll see you mañana.